A big win against the Eagles. We haven't lost for 6 rounds. We might be back. We might be back. Let's get into it. So before we jump straight into it, a couple of things. I've got that huge giveaway going on Instagram, Facebook, and stuff like that. So if you're not following me on Instagram and Facebook, jump on there. Got a big giveaway for a signed Braden Maynard and Isaac Quaynor premiership poster that I won at an auction solely to give it out to you guys. So jump on those socials and enter for your chance to win. Free entry, of course. And also, if you're not a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean the absolute world to me. But let's get into this game. So, Mother's Day, the Pies took on the Eagles at the illustrious Marvel Stadium. Again, I kind of dig Marvel Stadium, not going to lie, maybe mainly because of the Marvel thing. I think the food's better as well. I can understand why people don't like it. Docklands is a bit of a concrete jungle, but we had to play there, a home game there, which is stupid in and of itself. But we were there on Mother's Day. And I went into this game, and you would have seen from my preview as well, where I was confident that we were going to win. But there's just a part of you, when you verse the Eagles, or when you verse a team like North, or even Hawthorn, for example. Oh, Hawthorn are a little bit better now. But let's just say North and Eagles. You go, okay, these guys are going to play like it's their grand final. I know they had a few outs. We had a few outs as well, so it kind of evened up the ledger a little bit. But these were the games previously that Collingwood would either drop or just win. You remember 2022, we got done by the Eagles. We should have beaten them, and we got done by them. So I thought, we're going to win, but it might be a little bit harder. And then I said, what did I say? We're going to win by over 40 points. So, you know, the joys of being a Collingwood supporter. We ended up winning by 66 points, and it was just an all-round great performance. And we'll talk about some of the individual players a bit later on. But just the performance in and of itself, you know, we kicked to halftime. We kicked 7 goals from centre bounces, which is a club record since records were started getting taken in 1999. So that's absolutely huge, right? We just decapitated them out of the middle. One thing that the Eagles have been doing really well recently is their ground ball gets. They've been beating all the teams in their ground ball gets. We outplayed them in their ground ball gets. So we took their only strength away from them, which then led on to, you know, goals from centre bounces, goals from stoppages, turnover goals and stuff like that. So that was incredible. We had 10 individual goal kickers, and 11 of the 15 goals that we kicked were from set shots. Like, when is Collingwood putting away 11 set shots in a match? So it just kind of means, or kind of says to me that we are practicing a little bit on them, and we have a little bit more confidence, because you look at the last couple of weeks, especially that Essendon game, we're dropping goals from, you know, 30, 40 metres out, where we should be getting them, these set shot goals. And now we've put 11 of our 15, so only 4 were on the run and from just general play, which is incredible, right? We don't really see that often from us anyway. So that's really good. It gives you some confidence going into the next phase of the season. So the only sort of thing that you sort of think about this game, it's like, how much do you take away from it? Because, look, the Eagles are shocking, right? We understand that. The Eagles are absolutely shocking. Well, they kicked 5 goals for that game. They kicked 1 goal in the first quarter, 2 goals in the third. They didn't kick anything. 2 goals in the second. They didn't kick anything in the third, and kicked 2 goals in the last quarter when the game was done and dusted. Yes, we played absolutely incredible, but how much can you take away from it that it was the Eagles? So you're sort of saturated it a little bit, that sort of win. But in saying that, we did go up 7 or 8%, so we need that. So the Eagles game came at a very, very, very good time. And it's good to see all cogs sort of firing from those sort of fears that I had at the start of the game, to then seeing all the cogs firing. The first 3 quarters were absolutely amazing. That second quarter, we kicked 7 goals. Incredible. So it was good that it wasn't it was pretty much a 4-quarter performance. We'll call it a 4-quarter performance. So it was good to see that the team was firing. The team was, you know, the role players were doing well. The VFL kids were doing well. And it was a very good what was the word that I said? I said that Carlton was a litmus test, and this is just what was that? What was I saying? It was just an overall test of like a depth player test, and they just stood up. So we came into this game just smashed with injuries, right? And then they send Jeremy Howe up forward. You're like, oh, awesome. Jeremy Howe's going to kick a couple goals. He kicked a goal. He comes off because he does a groin, he's adductor. So he's going to be out for like 1, 2, or 3, or maybe not one, be 2 or 3 weeks. Harvey Harrison sprains or rolls his ankle, so he's going to be out. So that's 2 outs. Jack Bytel gets a concussion in the third quarter, so he's going to miss next week. So from missing 3 guys last week to now missing 3 guys from this week, and now Tom Mitchell might not play next week. Bo McCreary's ruled out. Jamie Elliott's ruled out. And Jordan De Goey is touch and go. Just compounding injuries at... Thankfully, it's a quote-unquote good time. It's not towards the end of the season and when finals are, and it's not towards the start of the season. So it is a quote-unquote good time to test these depth players out. We do get a couple of players back next week. We'll talk. Oh, sorry, this week. We'll talk about that in the preview a little bit later on in the week. But it's good that those depth players did come through for us. Now, Joe Richards, boy from Wangaratta, debuted, kicked a goal, 6 tackles, 3 goal assists, the most on the ground, 8 score involvements, over 14 disposals. He did incredibly. I talked about Joe Richards in the preseason a lot, and I loved what he's been doing. He's been plying his trade in the VFL, and he was just outstanding, and he doesn't come out next week, right? He really can't anyway because of Bo McCreary, because of Jamie Elliott not playing, so he really can't come out. Finn McRae kicks 3 goals. He plays that Taylor Adams role, that high half forward and going into the set of bounces if he sort of needs to. Reece McInnes with 3 goals. The thing that I liked about these VFL players, and Bytel, when he played, he did a couple of little nice things, is that... and Lockie Sullivan. Oh my God. Have we found a player and a half in Lockie Sullivan? Did I write his stats down? Damn, I didn't. But he had another incredible game backing up. He kicked another goal. Backing up from what he did last week as the sub, he goes on and plays another good game. And we've found an in and under, inside mid for years to come. And I'm just so ecstatic about him. But like I was saying, the thing about these VFL guys is because they're obviously training, but playing in the VFL, they already have that sort of connection going. So they're like a group within a group. So that was really good to see as well, because you could see them connecting with that bond that they've got from playing in the VFL for the last 2 years or whatever it may be. Different for Lockie, but for the other guys. So that was good to see. And Harvey Harrison, he did a couple of nice things before he obviously went off injured. So it's nice that our depth players are coming through, and we can kind of get excited about our depth, because there's a lot of people talking, we don't have the depth, and Collingwood are this, Collingwood that, they're only on the par. So it's good to see that Josh Fraser and Nev Jetto down there and the team there are preparing these guys for the AFL. Yeah, the VFL aren't doing too well at the moment, but look what the products we're getting out of that team into this team, and look how they're making us better. And the thing and the excitement about a Joe Richards debut, Jack Bytel, and Finn kicking 3 goals, his first since 2021. It gets everyone up and about. The older guys, the middle guys, the newer guys. It gets everyone excited. And it's a spark of energy that we definitely needed and that we definitely got. And that's what the most exciting thing about this Eagles game, because it was just, one, awesome to just sit back, have a beer or have a non-alcoholic beverage if you're under 18, and just watch the game without any heart attacks compared to that Carlton game. And just seeing the kids go about it. And that's not to say Nick Dacos, another phenomenal. What did he have? 17 contested possessions, his most for the year, I'm pretty sure. Ground ball gets, he had 36, 37 disposals, probably 3 Brownlow votes. Scott Pendlebury, still side bottom, playing off the half-back line, never played in a defensive role at all. He gets switched to the half-back line. He has his best game for the season. So there's these things that the team is doing now that their injuries are mounting, and this is what I said in one of the games, in one of the previews, or I can't remember what it was, but the positive about the injuries, or finding a positive in all the negatives of the injuries, is that we get to try players where we didn't think, or we wouldn't usually, right? Still side bottom down the back. Jeremy Howe up forward, which worked for like 10 minutes before he got injured. Joe, all these new kids. So it's a football to me is just evolution, and not evolution year by year. It's evolution week by week, and we see that it's a running evolution. Craig McRae's talked about it as well in some way or another, and it's just really really good to see. I think just in general, like now since the start of our season going 0-3, and now winning, or not winning, being undefeated in the last 6 games, so 5 wins, 1 draw. Should have won that Essendon game, but that's okay. That's okay. We're in the top 8. We're finally in the top 8. The reigning premiers in the top 8. We've just snuck in. We've got some couple of tricky games coming up, but we're not going to look at those just yet. We're going to revel in this moment that we're in the top 8 right now, and we're hot on the heels on a lot of teams, and we're playing good football. And I know earlier I said, how much can you take out of the West Coast game because they're shit and stuff like that, but you can take out that it was a very good full game performance. There's a lot of great connections. The role players are doing their roles really well. Like Will Hoskin-Elliott, Patrick Lipinski, all these sort of guys, and it gives you confidence going forward that no matter what, we've got these chameleon players that can play any sort of position, and they just slot in really well and they do their job. And that's something that Craig McRae has instilled into the team and into us as fans since 2022. And like I said, we just need to qualify. Keep banking these wins, keep it going. Just need to qualify for finals, and who knows what happens, right? Let's not look at finals at the moment. I know I just said it, but let's not look at finals. But it's just a very exciting time. We take on Adelaide this week on Saturday. That's going to be a great game as well. They just tied to the Lions, which was an insane game. And I can't wait. It's going to be a really good week. We'll see what these injuries sort of surmount to and see what's going on. That we see maybe there's another new player that comes in. Who knows? But all I know is that game against West Coast, we needed a big win. We needed to put a team to the sword, and we did. Credit to West Coast. It should have been a 100-point win, but with our injuries and West Coast really trying, especially in that third and fourth quarter, to shut us down, they didn't give us that 100-point win that I wanted, but they gave us the over 40-point win, which is good. Good for me anyway, so I don't have to wear a Carlton jersey on footy abroad tomorrow night. But look, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. How did you view the game? Who was your best on ground? How did you see the debutants? Shout out to everyone in Wangaratta, because Joey Richards, thank you so much for him. Shout out to Ben Reed as well. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, Tay family, Tay friends, Tay pets, and until next time, double shackers. I'll see you later.